Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Endless Legend Symbiosis, where today we are starting a new game as the Drakken. These guys are pretty straightforward. They're a simpler race. You can see they don't have a lot of traits. They're pretty much just the Influence faction. You can see their main victory type is listed as Diplomatic, and maybe we'll go for a Diplomatic victory, because I haven't done one of those in quite a while. An ancient and venerable race, the scholars of the Drakken prize lore, history, and wisdom above all things. Few in number but exceedingly powerful, they do not seek war, but rather relationships, information, and knowledge, except some of them absolutely do seek war, as I believe we will see during the faction quest. Faction histories, artifacts, and ruins are highly prized by the Drakken, while wealth, military power, and advanced technology are viewed as insignificant, and then for some reason, there are many line breaks. So, our faction affinity, sort of our main thing, is diplomatic pressure, the ability to declare truce, peace, or alliance with a targeted empire, in the same way that, like, you might declare war. You know, it's completely unilateral. You just tell the other faction, hey, this is what our relationship is now. As you might imagine, it's quite a bit more expensive in terms of influence than negotiating truce, a peace, or an alliance, but with the way the diplomatic victory works, that actually sometimes even is a benefit. Our Dust Eclipse effect is mystical words, a reduction in the cost of declarations and treaties during the eclipse. Okay, that's fine. It's not very creative and not very powerful simultaneously, so not my favorite one. We get our Empire plans unlocked one era earlier, which means that on turn 20, we'll have the opportunity to take the building cost reduction in Era 2 of the Science quadrant of the Empire plan thing, which is pretty powerful. It's a really useful thing to be able to get that early. So we might want to be pretty careful about how we settle. I often settle pretty quickly, and a lot of the time I'm trying to look at, like, City 3 by turn 20, but we may want to settle City 2 after getting our first Empire plan, just so that we can really maximize the value of this, because I think it could be pretty good. We have Endless Excavation. Tiles with ruins on them have +2 science and +3 influence. This is a really powerful early source of influence. Well Connected allows us to see the starting positions of every other player. We'll get vision of their starting army briefly, I believe is how it works. So we will know, you know, where they settle, where their home regions are, and we'll meet them immediately. The upside of which is that we can deal with them immediately. The downside of which is that we get no, like, buffer of safety time. Sometimes you can settle near someone, but not actually in their vision, and get to build your city up before they could possibly declare war on you. With the Drakken, not so much a possibility. And that's actually it for traits. We start with the Empire Mint and the Language Square unlocked. This can be very powerful sometimes. We have a totally normal infantry settler, nothing fancy about that. Our base unit is the Drakkenling. Pretty high defense for an infantry unit, and Drakkenlings, they get pretty tough. The Drakken starting hero, I think, has health boost 3 for the army, so your starting units will feel pretty meaty. Reasonable attack, pretty bad damage for an infantry unit. Not really a killer, more of a tank. Then we will unlock in Era 1, or at least we have the ability to unlock the Wyvern, which is flying, has high attack, high damage, sort of almost like a Necro drone in terms of power level, I think. Wyverns are quite good. And then our last unit is the Ancient. The Ancient is a support unit. It's a little bit better at fighting than support units usually are. And it has this shared wisdom ability that I don't remember what it does. So I guess we'll find out. I think it might affect morale. It might be like Ancients give +1 morale to nearby units or something. I don't know. We can find out in the game. So I had a couple of requests for this one. A couple of people have asked to go back up to 8-player games. I'm not sure why, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what more we get out of an 8-player game than a 6-player game, but people want to see it, and I am just gonna cross my fingers and hope that my computer doesn't melt. You know, the problems that we are seeing in the late stage of high-player games are definitely not related to my hardware. They'll be fine. We probably should run an 8-player world. We'll do the smaller of the two 8-player worlds. And I'm going to leave everything on very random. I know that we ended up with a huge amount of land last time, but that certainly is not the way the map generation goes in every game, and I really like the extremely random maps. I really like having no idea what we're going to see when we step out in the world. Yeah, so with that, I guess no further ado, let's get to the thing. I will say, I guess I didn't really think about this while I was increasing the player number, but actually it might be easier for us to win a diplomatic... I might have made it easier for us to win a diplomatic victory by turning up the player count, actually. I'm not sure if the diplomatic point value that you need to get scales with the player number or not. I don't think it does. So yeah, I might have made it slightly easier for us to win just now. Oh well, if it happens, you know. If it happens that way, it happens that way. So the diplomatic victory. We have not actually gotten one. I'm not sure if I've talked about exactly how it actually works. We're going to have to accumulate some number of diplomatic points over the course of the game. By the way, I'm not 100% committed on this. If it turns out that we could win a military victory more easily, we'll pay attention to the situation, try to be reactive. But a diplomatic victory is a sensible thing to go for with the Drakken, because you're already wanting to accumulate a whole bunch of influence so that you can boss everybody around and control your relationships. Just super healthy socially to think this way. You know what? I'll describe the diplomatic victory while we're figuring out the map after the cinematic here. The cinematic here. This would be a great time for that cinematic here. Sometimes I feel like the game's not trying to help me produce a good show. Here we go.
We have always been here. The Whispering Galleries have always held the memories of our people. Then they came, and they lifted us up. But they fought, and they fell. Our world was swept by cataclysm, and we were left alone. Still, we persevere, protect, and maintain, as we always have. We may lack their sight and their knowledge, but we can still read the omens. Another cataclysm is coming, and it is we, the Draken, who must save the world of Horriga.
Yep, perfectly normal, very normal and sensible amount of self-respect and arrogance. Okay, so, alright. Getting a lot of hitching and unresponsiveness immediately. Not a great sign. Let me create that turn 1 save. And let's have a look at things here. So, we can immediately see we're playing with a cultist, a forgotten, a broken lord, an ardent mage, a wild walker, a vaulter, and an Alayi player. Who's close to us? So here we have the Broken Lords just to our north. It looks like the world is definitely multiple land masses. Seems like people are pretty spread out aside from the two of us being clustered together and Purple and the Forgotten maybe being clustered together, but I can't tell if these might not have any land connection between them, There are oceans. Is this ocean water or inland lake water? I can't tell. We don't have actual vision of it, so we can't get the tooltip. We've also met a whole bunch of minor factions due to them being either near other players' starting positions or near our own. I remember we do have Language Square right away, so let's go ahead and have a chat with these guys. These eyeless ones would love it if we would colonize their region. That's probably not something we're going to do here. Yeah, I'm reluctant to just run for the border when we can't see even a single anomaly. We don't know that there's anywhere over there that's worth settling. Let's disconnect our hero. We can search the ruin. Then 5 turns, search. Okay. That will get done. Okay, interesting. We got some Mycordia next to a massive tree. That seems like a very strong contender for the correct settling location. Obviously, it's nice to settle near the temple ruins, because look how good that temple ruin tile is. But we don't necessarily have to settle directly on top of it. Okay, we have dyes in our home region. That's very handy. We also have a Sisters of Mercy village. So my initial inclination is that this is the right settle. 16, 10, 9 with literally 0 dust. That's the thing we're going to have to deal with. I guess we already have Empire Mint research, though. But yeah, like 16, 10, 9 with 10 approval. And then the first tile we expand to is this, and we grab both of those. That seems very good to me. I have a hard time imagining that's wrong. Okay, so we can see some black soil, some black earth right across the border here. I don't have a good sense of the shape of the landmass yet, obviously, but it may be the case that we end up settling green into a corner and then killing them early. That totally could happen. Our faction quest, in my memory of our faction quest, is that it's a little back and forth, like, do peace, then do war, then do peace, then do war. Because the Drakken are ruled by a diarchy, where it's like one person, there's like one king that's in charge for a certain number of years, and then they swap over to a different one, and then they swap back later, and it just keeps alternating like that. So, we'll see. We'll see how the faction quest goes, but I think we're going to have to fight at some points. Alright. The legendary deeds this time gather at least 30 units of one luxury resource in order to get 130 gold. That would be handy. And Visionary Leader is destroy 10 armies, so out of our reach probably this game. I really do appreciate when it's when it is instead pacify 8 villages, because at least you have a chance with that one. I can't imagine Mill Foundry is the wrong play. We definitely want to get our building going. Let's get Founders Memorial, and can we move this person off of food without... We can, in fact, move this person off of food without reducing our birth rate, but I'm wondering if we want to. Yeah, we probably do. I probably want to get the Founders Memorial done, get Mill Foundry started as quickly as possible, and then we can grab Empire Mint after that and correct our dust deficit. Okay, I don't think that there's anything else of great import that needs to be done at this moment. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but probably not. Alright, let's have a chat with these sisters and see what they want. Sorry, let's look at our faction quest first. She extends her wings, stretching her muscles. The gesture has replaced a simple smile, as she learned during the trip that a Drakken smile induces terror, not harmony. Kehangana is content. The city has been founded, and this first step of her duty responsibly executed. They are far from Drakkenholm, but that, she believes, was the will of the 12. Had it been her sister, Propaheni, that's an I, right? Yeah. Things would have been different. They would have halted a scant few days from Drakkenholm. Propaheni would be too concerned with distance from tradition, and not enough with movement toward the future. The 12 were wise to choose Kehangana first, and this is especially true now, with signs of change so heavy in the air. What to make not just of the longer winters and the earthquakes, but also of something closer to home. The birth of those they call Drakkenlings. Why do the eggs that only ever produced Drakken now produce these things? Why now? Many confusing signs seem to appear, and accelerate. Whatever the answer may be, it is certain that it involves change, and Propaheni is ill-equipped to deal with that. The first city beyond Drakkenholm will be their hand extended to the other peoples of Auriga. It is a difficult project, and Kehangana fears that it will perhaps too quickly show the strains that lie beneath the surface of their alternating diarchy. Regardless of her own worries, however, she will press on, not merely because it is the will of the 12, but also because it is the best hope for Auriga. Okay, so we gotta level up 2 Drakkenling units, or, alternatively, build 2 Drakkenlings once we have advanced to level 2, or Era 2. And we'll get 15 wine for doing so. So, I mean, obviously, the earlier the better. That would be pretty cool to have. Alright, let's go get this stuff. So we should talk about the Drakken hero a little bit. We have Army Health Boost 3, which is pretty powerful, but also something that you do eventually get for free. Food Boost 1, which is not a very good governor capacity, obviously. Fast Learner 1, which is cool. And the Drakken skill tree gives plus food from rivers, plus influence on city districts, so built-out wider cities benefit from this a lot more. The Friendly Banner capacity on the hero, which prevents the army from being attacked by neutrals. And eventually a big influence boost, or a big approval boost. I don't really think Drakken make very good governors in most cases, so we're very likely to keep Archivist Nachampasesa as a military commander. So, where do we want to have a look around? I guess I should finish moving around with this guy too. Okay, our home region is large and has kind of a lot of nice tiles in it. I guess let's explore this way. Okay, so this is all one region. This settling location definitely has promise, and it has Hamara nearby for defense, but it wouldn't expand very well. Like I said, I think we're going to try to settle after buying the first Empire plan. Like, ideally, the way we would do this is by settling on turn 20 after purchasing our Empire plan. So I'm not in a huge hurry to get that first settler out. I don't usually like to wait that long anymore. I'm wondering if I want to just snap the hero back over here. Because we're going to get double Ruin Search followed by another Ruin Search. Like, we could get a couple of levels really quickly. Yeah, like, we can grab Vision to this. Okay, produce 40 industry in one of your cities. We'll absolutely get there. 15 free influence. May well be relevant. And I think I'm going to do this. I think we're going to hop you back over here because we get to search this once for the Breakwall quest, and then again after that, and there's that first level up. 5 titanium, not a bad thing to have. So plus 5 defense on all the units in the army, not a great bonus. And then next turn we get to grab this. I'm thinking this region actually looks really powerful, and that's going to be a real problem for green. Actually, more likely, green is going to settle here before us, if we're planning on settling as slowly as I'm talking about. Okay, so we got our mill foundry. Now, the question of technology turns to whether or not we want to try to get early cultivation. Because we're not planning on necessarily rushing our first settler, we might actually get to spend some time benefiting from seed storage, but I'm wondering if we maybe would just be better off with sewer system, because we'll be able to push ourselves to fervent in the home city thanks to the bonus approval from the Mykara. Okay, so it's looking like this might be a lake, but this is definitely ocean out here. Actually, this region's looking pretty good. Right, like this tile's got a lot going for it. And also, we'll get some stuff if we colonize the region. A weapon was lodged within a great amount of glass steel by a mad blacksmith. That seems like it would be really difficult to do. You know what? I already don't remember. What did the sisters want? Did I actually forget to... Okay, well, we'll go back there and talk to them then. I think I forgot to talk to them. Listen, I've only been playing Endless Legend for like 1,000 hours. There's no reason I should be able to do very basic, simple things yet. It is a little bit of a shame that this region is so deserty, because our growth, like from here, our growth prospects are a little bit limited. Like the tiles out here are not actually very good, although obviously expanding into the fumarole has value. Okay, what do you guys want? You want our money. Which we don't actually... Yeah, I don't actually have that much money. Okay, well... I guess we'd better head back toward... back toward the village in the capital. So we are right at the bottom of the world here. Yeah, and I kind of hate the way this region wraps around our capital. If we don't get that region, I'm going to be in rough shape. We're going to have to go to war with Green early. So let's hope it doesn't come to that. I don't think we've talked to these people yet, have we? In Hamara, destroy the Sisters of Mercy village. You know what? Okay, I can do that. We will probably be able to provide reinforcement from across the water. We could probably just knock that out right now. And so we'll want to stay probably right here. Yeah, because we're going to want to talk to the village again afterward. Okay, so I have to walk over to here. But then, yeah, this should be very easy. Sisters of Mercy are not great combat units. They get to move first. If I stand right here, I expect that this one will move to there, and this one will move to... Actually, this one will move, get stuck in the trees, and then we'll just gang up on the one that ran forward. So our Drakken hero has the also has the healing ability. As a support hero, he has a thing you can do to your own units instead of to the enemy units, which is just heal for an amount equal to the caster's damage. Eventually, this will probably be quite powerful. He also shoots fire, which is pretty cool. Okay, you should definitely move forward for the morale. Should have done that last turn. And this actually worked out pretty alright. Holy crap, you guys are slow to kill, though. Like I said, these militia are not, they're not really killers, they're survivors. Alright, so we got ourselves 15 gold. And then return to the tribe's village and restore their trust for a whole bunch of money. Which we'll gladly take. And also some more XP, because I got to interact with the village again. And now that we've done that, we have the money to go over here and try to satisfy their quest. Definitely want to throw sewer system into the queue. So right now, it looks like it would take 6 turns to build a settler. We're also going to want to rebuild this village for a point of population. I'm just trying to figure out, like, we want to try to complete the settler such that we can move into position and put the city down immediately on 20. Sorry, not immediately. You know, after buying the Empire plan. So in order to take this, which is what I want, 33% building reduction or building production cost reduction, we need to get to 60 influence. Maybe this is a pipe dream. I thought that this was maybe going to be a little bit more reasonable. Let's see, we're going to get 15 from that quest. No, we're probably not. Not in time. We will get to 40 industry before turn 20, but not before turn 10, probably. Yeah, maybe this is just not doable. And if that's the case, then we probably want to settle earlier. But I think I want to finish this sewer first either way. Yeah, let's take this stuff out of the queue. We'll figure this out in a couple of turns. So we'll give these guys 50 dust. We'll hope that they don't ask for us to give them glass steel. Get that conversion. And then we'll have a couple of good peaceful regions we can move into. Not expecting to see a whole lot of resistance this early in the game, obviously. They would love it if I would bring them 5 titanium. The other Gelderous village in the region. Unfortunately, we don't get to know where. Could be over on this side, could be up there. Okay, it looks like the landmass that we are sharing with green is not super huge. We can see that green settled this region, because you can see that exploitation tile there. So that's good news for us. They didn't immediately settle us in. Okay, there is another Gelderous village down here, but it is not the one referred to by the quest. And that's a ruin, not the village we're looking for either. Okay, we're about to level up again. The Drakken are doing alright. Take 3 turns to build the settler. Then we have to decide, does it seem feasible at all to get to 60? That's not what I want. We're producing another 30. Yeah, it's totally feasible to get to 60. We'll just move some population over at some point soon. So yeah, we have time to do other stuff. I probably want to build the Sisters. No, I probably want to build the Empire Mint. I'm just thinking, like, this is a point of population. But that's not nearly as good as plus 5 dust, plus 15% dust. Okay, dust eclipse time already. Not bad. That's a pretty welcome thing. Oh, I was really hoping this would turn out to be a temple ruin. Okay, well, we're definitely still getting it. I'm gonna split these forces up. Let's have the hero go forward. You guys can head back. Alright, so there's an ocean region over here that actually has some stuff in it, it looks like. They would like us to come back with 3 minor faction units. Very unlikely to happen. What kind of village is this? Boss? I don't know if I want to fight Boss with just a hero and 1 unit. I think we might suffer losses there. Alright, so we have access to a lot of our basic buildings now. I don't think I'm going to try to take cultivation early. It might actually be a good idea to try to pick up the mercenary market really early here. Because we have... Yeah, we have potentially a lot of dust coming in pretty quickly. Let's hope so, anyway. I guess we don't really have that many temple ruins to search. I apologize if the ducks outside the window are... coming through on the microphone. They are being hilariously loud right now, like really absurdly loud. It just sounds like they're having the best time. You know that quack ducks do where it just sounds like they're laughing? It's non-stop duck laughter. Ah, no ruin. Or no temple ruin, rather. Okay, apparently I overestimated the size of this water region over here. Now, nothing in there. That is not the good kind of conflux. And I don't think it helps us to go down there, so we're just going to leave it there. I feel like maybe I undervalue the other confluxes, but the movement one is just the best. It's just so good. It's so very, very good. Let's see. It's going to cost us, at this point, 4 turns to construct a settler. So yeah, maybe that's a good way of doing that. We'll just get all of the basic buildings finished. So we are going to have to find a few more temple ruins to take early advantage of the mercenary market. I'm hoping that we can pull that off. I'm also hoping that this game will actually be able to get control of some Urkans. It was a real bummer last game when we couldn't. It was just like not ever feasible due to the resources they wanted. Okay, 80 more dust. It's not impossible that we could get to the ruin in the home region. I guess we gotta hope. It's all we can do. I'm also hoping that green doesn't take over this region. Like, I'm hoping that we're gonna be able to pull something really great out of what I'm so far thinking of as sort of a mediocre start. It's fine. It's not horrible. It's just not very good. See if there is maybe a temple ruin across the border here. That looks like we will not be so lucky. Alright, come on, give me one more turn. They did grab a movement conflux, but sadly it does not help them in time. I just need one more turn of Eclipse. Should I just buy this? No, I probably should not. You know what? I'm going to put the Settler in the queue first, because we could be on the move on turn 18 and then settle on turn 20. Yeah, that's not bad. I think we're in an okay spot if we get this region. What did they want? They just wanted me to colonize? Okay, so we'll get control of this. Ah, that sucks. Right before we were going to get that search. Oh, I'm going to keep running my hero pretty deep in over here. Oh, hey, it's their whole army. Hey, all of the green dudes, how are you? Hopefully not feeling too murderous. Oh, that is a green settler. Well, that's not okay. Okay, and here's the village we need to convert. Yeah, so green and I are sharing a pretty small landmass. Looks like pink and light blue are maybe also sharing a mass. Some of these players might be off on their own, though. Alright, I suspect that we're not going to get along with green very well for very long. This settler is going to have to die, for one thing. But he's so close to the city, they're going to get their garrison on that. Okay, well, if we let them settle slick, we could take it over later. We could come down and get Regsina, which is absolutely fine. Not a bad spot at all. Yeah, that's probably what we'll do. I don't know that I can attack that settler in a useful way before he gets to put down. I'm definitely going to have my hero run over here and make it clear, though, that his time is short. If he tries to run over here to settle, we will definitely kill him. Also need to make sure that we hit this this village quickly. They don't want them destroying it. I want to get this nice early pacification, especially if we're going to have to settle this region. Okay, there we go. 5 titanium for 3 converted villages. Okay, they put the city down instantly. Well, let's try to get out of here. Okay, so we're just gonna have to take that. They put it down in probably roughly the position I would have put it in. Yeah, I think that's the right tile, actually. It's not even as good for them as it is for us. It's pretty good for us. So at this point, we really just want to merge our stuff back up, I think. We are going to have to prepare for early combat. So that being the case, do I want to grab the Wyvern? We're going to be going up against a force primarily composed of heavy infantry this early in the game. The Wyvern might be valuable. Fast-moving cavalry unit is pretty cool. But it also might be reasonable to assimilate the Gelderis after we settle in this other region, because there are 3 of those villages, and they give plus 5% damage per village. And the Gelderis unit is a powerful cavalry unit. So maybe we skip picking up on the Wyvern, we let the Geldris fill this role in our army, and we instead get Alchemist's Fortune, because we're going to need to be able to extract the strategics in our new region. Yeah, okay, I think I'm alright with that. I don't think I feel too bad about losing this. We'll get it back. So, we are 4 turns from the changeover, and I would really love it if we had the influence necessary to do the thing we need to do. Yes, we're going to have to do that. But I guess it makes sense to stay on industry until the very last moment. We can make up all the extra influence on 1 turn, right? Just by moving the whole population of the city over to influence. Okay, glad I did not try to go for the early seed storage. Would not have worked. Somebody also hit Era 2 this turn. Seems a little fast. So next turn will be at 48. We can pull everybody over to get up to +9. Yeah, so we can stay on industry 1 more turn. Just trying to make sure we get the maximum amount into the Sisters of Mercy Village, because I do want that back up. Okay, we're back. I had a computer crash there. That wasn't even Endless Legends' fault. That was my whole computer. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But first, let's finish this thing. So what are we doing here? Do I need to put people on influence yet? We're going to have a birth in 2 turns, which is not fast enough. Okay, hold on. Let's get the settler out. We know we're doing this. Yeah, okay. If I move people over to food, so that we get a birth next turn, we'll be at 51 influence with +3 naturally. Yeah, this will mean that we can produce enough influence next turn by assigning everybody to influence. I don't think there's any fractions involved. It always makes me a little nervous to appear to be going exactly to a value in Endless Legend, because of the fact that sometimes fractional values get rounded, sometimes they get truncated, and very occasionally they actually get displayed as their real value. I don't think... Yeah, we should be at actual 48, not at like 47.8 or anything. So this should be fine. Yeah, okay. And then, do we actually want to pop the gold? This is a question. This is an important question. So we want to unite the 2 armies. That's going to help with our dust a little bit. And then, we're so close to being able to afford a hero. Yeah, let's go ahead and pop the gold. +11 dust per turn. Yeah, that puts us in a good hero buy-in place, and a good place to still have money after the hero buy-in. Okay, so I think I'm actually going to here, right? Yeah, and this settle will help with our dust problems a little bit too. So now I don't actually know what I want to do with this army right now. Let's throw all you guys onto influence. It'll get us to exactly 60. And where are we at on research? We need 2 more to move up. Well, we are going to want cultivation. And probably we're going to want to open pit mines so that we get this dye extracting. We don't see a lot of other luxuries on our continent. There's a gold deposit up there. Dye's very good for us, though. Yeah, I think that's right. Researching a little bit more slowly than I would like. I guess we could, instead of taking open pit mine, grab topography. How many of the tiles around us actually have science? Oh, actually, a fair amount. So the geomic labs will be pretty good for us. Given that we don't know when winter will end, I'm actually going to swap those. Let's get topography first. We're going to want to push through tech a little bit, too. Okay, so what do I do with you? I guess we could scout green a little bit more. Yeah, man, they really settled us into a corner here. Yeah, I guess let's try to reveal all these tiles up here, because there could be ruins in them, right? We may yet have value to get. So am I waiting until next turn? There's a couple of heroes available now. Jassa Murdap with Dust Efficiency 3 and Food Boost 1 is definitely interesting. But in order to take advantage of Dust Efficiency 3, we have to actually assign citizens to industry, or to Dust, which I would rather not do. It is nice to have two governing capacities. Feeds on Bones, not really very good for us. You have no governing capacities at all. You have no governing capacities at all. Science Boost 1, Science Boost 3. Yep, you're not a governor. You're not a governor. Mosi Pakwa is fine at governing. Industry Efficiency 1 is okay. Like, I definitely keep people on industry sometimes. But I'm thinking, like, is it actually going to be Science Boost 3? I just don't think that's a very good hero for governing either, because the Vaulter tree is just not good. It's just very bad. Well, we really don't have very compelling choices for governor. It might end up being Jassa Murdap, off the strength of Food Boost 1. I will say... Oh man, Influence Boost 3, huh? Bonus approval right away. Unfortunately, the Sisters of Mercy faction tree is not actually very good for governing. Dust and food income cannot be negative, very rarely affects the city. But you could grab the bonus approval, you could enjoy the Influence Boost 3, and early influence is definitely valuable. I don't know, this is a pretty bad long-term hero, and especially the heroes you buy early, you want to be good in the long term. We definitely have some good combat hero availability here. And is it really going to be the terrible Science Boost 3 guy? Probably this Ardent Mage hero ends up being better because of the fact that the Ardent Mage tree is considerably better. There's a lot of plus science available. Jessa Murdap is actually not bad either. Plus dust on terrain with anomaly. Plus trade routes, leading very naturally into inspirational leader. Yeah. Food Boost 1 is fine. Dust Efficiency 3 will at least give us the opportunity to make a whole bunch of money quickly if we want to. Yeah, alright, get in there. I'm not super excited about it, but I think he is totally fine. Alright, so you can get in there and get the XP off of that. That gives us exactly the amount of influence we need to build up all of these buildings that we've been researching in our second city. Let's go ahead and grab science and building cost reduction. You guys can continue down there. I'm definitely stealing pearls. I have no fear about that this time. This first borough is actually really valuable for this city. Yeah, let's prioritize that. I kind of want to keep the influence on until we can assimilate the Gelderis. I also want to get this borough built quickly. Yeah, that's probably more important. Especially since the borough is building us out onto a source of influence. How are those Drakkenling doing on level? One of them actually is level 2, and the other one's going to level up quite soon. Okay, this turns out to, our faction quest turns out not to have been as difficult as I was fearing. And I do believe this is the settling turn. Yeah, that's like totally fine. Quite a bit of dust available, which is nice. Definitely want to get that mill foundry. Look at all that sweet, sweet population. Can we keep the two-turn birth? There we go. That's a good balance. Alright, so when we build an extractor on the glass steel deposit here in this region, we'll get a pretty good bow. It's totally pretty good. Unfortunately, Empire approval value, not super good right now. We've lost our fervency. Okay, so once topography is done, we definitely want to rush that out because we want to get into Era 2 as quickly as possible. We need to also get these extractors down quickly because we need to put together the resources necessary to start fighting a war. And the faster we can do that, the more effective we're going to be at it. We can see that his units are very well defended, but not really interesting in any other way. Still pretty weak. We got to make sure we take them out while they are still pretty weak. I hope that there is a place during that turn where I had that crash where I can flip the video gracefully. I don't have to just like drop it in mid-sentence or something. Okay, so we have another booster worth of gold. And we are actually, thanks to settling near this ruin, totally going to have the 30 influence for the assimilation without having to put any real work into it, which is great. This probably has to get below those. I would love to just buy one of them out. I was kind of hoping we were going to find money in that ruin. Keep looking around. Maybe we will find more ruins. Don't think there's one over there, because we can't see any sparkles through the fog. Yep, green is yelling at us about Common Frontier. Somebody has constructed the Museum of Auriga. It was... okay, the cult. Sure, that makes sense. I could see how that would happen. So early war is always risky. Always a little dangerous. In this situation, though, I really don't think we can afford not to do it. Because we're just going to get slowly starved out if we don't go for it. Alright, so we can still get this done in one. That's actually going to be a fair amount of science. Right, I really hope this has dust in it. Like a lot of dust would be really cool. Come on, 130 dust. Well, okay, not quite, but we still got something. We got enough to purchase the titanium extractor, so both of them finish in the same turn. Start getting some resources in here to build troops with. And we also just have to start building troops, I think. Let's go ahead and at least equip all of the gear, all of the war gear. We definitely don't need movement trinkets for this war. Yeah, and we don't have great weapon options. It's either sword and shield or spear. Spear's pretty bad for us against Broken Lords. I don't know who they've assimilated. So let's see. Their options are Iotis, which is a ranged class, the Seratan, which is a support class, or Eyeless ones, which are support. Yes, so the spear is definitely not right. Yep, start building. Okay, so we can get to 10 pearls. We do know where there is at least one more pearl. Oh, that is 5 pearls in that deposit. Usually the size of the pearl indicates the number in the deposit. That does not seem to be doing that here. Alright, so we've extracted this crossbow that we don't actually have a use for. We have also leveled up 2 Drakenling units. They're level 2 and secured some wine, which we will absolutely use immediately to jump to Fervent. Oh, I do need to remember to assimilate these guys. We have not lost anything by delaying that, though. Okay, so our units all now have 15% initiative, or 15% damage, rather. And we have a pretty powerful military unit at our disposal. Reach 10 influence output in one of your cities. Okay. Bam, I did it. We reached it. So yeah, let's talk about the Gelderus real quick. We haven't had a chance to see these guys too much. They are a pretty fast-moving cavalry unit. You can see 42 attack, 58 damage. Very impressive base offensive stats, but very low defense, very low life. Initiative's not spectacular. They can only equip claws. And they are dark-proof. They suffer no vision or movement reduction from winter. These guys are great. I think they're very, very good. They're also a little expensive, if I'm not mistaken. But they fill a nice gap in our army. Alright, well, if we want to take Toro, we kind of got to get on that, huh? That's not the button I want. Here we go. So there's only one extra point of movement. It's also a pretty small industry increase. Probably have to actually rush this. Yeah, let's put everybody on industry. Let's get that settler out if we can. And here we will push this city up to 10 influence. Okay. I don't even know where we would settle down here. Region is not spectacular, I'll say that. On top of the exotics is not a terrible place. Alright, we did it. Kehangana remains content. They watch the Drakenlings. They prepare for diplomacy. Convinced that the Drakon hold the key to Auriga's future, she will hibernate, reflect, and dream of the future, that same future. So Kehangana goes into torpor, and now Propaheni awakens. While the smells of the warren are familiar, the smells from the surroundings are radically different. She is upset, uneasy. She knows they were sent to found a new city, and doubtless her sister, Kehangana, interpreted the commands a bit too liberally. It is irresponsible to travel so far from the 12, so far from Drakenholm. Though physical distance is easily conquered with wings, what Propaheni fears is distance from tradition. Without tradition, without structure, will they not descend into the forms of their most ancient ancestors before they came and revert to barbarism? It's probably pretty obvious, but the capital T, they, that's mentioned in the quest and also in that opening cinematic, is of course the Endless. The first step is to contact other peoples and bring them the benefits of Draken wisdom and power. The Draken must impose their values by influence or by force, lest the other beings of Auriga stray from the great principles that they once set down. Protection, stewardship, preservation. In a later time, they must also think of a nursery. The new Draken city will need more of their people, even if they are those alien Drakenlings, to propagate their message and maintain their customs. So we have to do the Empire and Expansion Ministry of the Empire Plan at level 2 in the next Empire Plan. It doesn't have to be in the next one, but I certainly wouldn't want to wait too much longer. Okay, the Alayi got all the gold. That is totally fine. Does not affect us, like, basically at all. Okay, is there anything else that we are... Nope, there is not really anything else that we are trying to do. Well, okay. So we should be able to fight Slick with the assistance of Hamara, but I'm a little worried we won't be able to do it without Hadao getting in on it as well. It'd be a little bit unfortunate. Alright, so we've hit a new era. Probably ought to go ahead and get seed storage going. Yep. minor faction villages getting destroyed. Happens all the time. And now we can redesign the units here. Hey, these are not great units. Not yet. We definitely need to pick up alchemical alloys. We're not going to have the resources to build a lot of weapons, but we definitely have to get some weapons. We also really need to be producing troops as soon as we can get Hamara back on track. Because like, we have to try to take Tural at least. Yeah, go ahead and reactivate the gold. And then an Urkan is going to appear soon. My guess is it's not going to appear on this landmass. Just a feeling I have based on the extreme smallness of our landmass. And the fact that there won't be any neutral regions on it left if I have my say. Alright, let's see if we can get Tural settled. If we can't, I'm going to feel really bad for having built this settler. Okay, Jostle Murdap can get us some extra dust from our 3 anomalies. That is not a bad skill point at all. I believe there's land right here. We are probably going to need early ship tech. Okay, the Forgotten got tactical training. Pretty much okay with me, as long as the Broken Lords didn't get it. Do I want to build the Altar of Anomalies here? Probably I just want to keep pushing science. Oh, also, we don't need to be doing that anymore. Okay, city's relatively productive. We're doing alright. So let's pop you out and figure out where, like, if I do settle here. Okay, if we were to equip a better movement trinket, the next level of movement trinket, it would take 1 turn off of that movement. What is the cost of doing that? 29 dust? Yeah, for 29, that is absolutely worthwhile. Oh, hi. Hey, what are you guys doing here? Scouting for weaknesses, no doubt. Oh, you don't actually have... Yeah, okay, just wait there. Well, we're in a position to build some kind of army. Maybe not a very good army, though. I'm definitely concerned. So I actually would love to catch that green army kind of out of position and near one of our cities. Nope, this is my region. You cannot have it. Alright, and we probably have to spend some dust on this city. Like, we have to... This city has to get set up quickly. So we have alchemical alloys. I'm not really sure what's next. Meritocratic promotion might not actually be valuable to us. So we might have to fight with a... Well, you know, I'm really hoping we don't have to fight with a force that is smaller than 6 units, though. Alright, how about this? I'm going to think about this. We don't have to figure this out right now. We can totally wait here. This is an okay stopping point. So the battle lines have been drawn. Green ended up on 4 regions. I ended up on 3. One or both of us are going to starve if we don't do something pretty drastic here. So we're going to do something pretty drastic. Also, somebody already... Wow, Red already has the Megapole. Both of the early game wonders by turn 30, huh? We're also going to have to try to get over to Red City and take that over, because that seems very good. We should have that city. So there's some, I guess, there's some chance that the right thing to do here is to get shipyards and just travel elsewhere and try to settle more regions rather than fighting with green early. I don't know. We'll figure it out. That is going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. Come back on Monday to see what we've decided. and we'll see you then.